Greetings, it is Mr. McClung, and I am sending you this video of instruction. And believe it or not, yes, I'm still alive. I know some of you probably have heard some rumors or some fallacies about me, and I apologize that I have been gone the last 2 days. And unfortunately, I'm going to be gone for even longer. I was selected for a jury this week, and I'm doing my fair share of my civil duties by letting my decisions and things that I think determine the fate of somebody else. So the state of California sees me fit to do such a thing, so I'm involved in doing that, and unfortunately I can't talk about any of it, and I can't even talk about it to Mrs. McClung, because I've been told over and over that if I mention any of it, I could even go to jail. So I don't want that to happen. So, however, that does not mean that we need to stop class, as much as I know you would love that, and for me to just say, just go play on the internet for the next 2 weeks, if it takes that long, or anything like that. So, however, I do have some stuff that I do want to teach you. I do have some things that I was planning to share with you this week, and unfortunately, because I am here and I'm not able to be in the classroom, I'm going to do it this way to have you guys watch this video, and hopefully you'll get the gist of what we're going to do this week. So even though I am not present in the classroom, that does not mean that the art of animation needs to cease. So, and before I continue, I wanted to again remind you, encourage you to continue to be respectful and helpful to our guest. I know Mr. Cooley has been there. I'm not sure if he's going to be there as of this recording, but he is a great teacher, and all of the teachers that I've had come help me are wonderful. So I expect the best of you guys to be guests to them, help them with anything they need. Same thing with you TAs. I know you'll do a good job. So overall, but let's just get started so I can tell you what it is that you'll be doing the rest of this week. So let me kind of move this around here, make that smaller. So on your desktop, and my desktop's a little bit different than your guys's. Let me close that. There's a couple things you won't have any of this, especially Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds and Voodoo and all that stuff, Flickster. But what you should have on your desktop is this program called Alice, and this is what we're going to use for me to be able to introduce 3D animation to you guys. So, as I've mentioned in the past, 3D animation is much more different than 2D animation, regular animation. And as an example, I have my cool little R2-D2 guy here. And if we were to draw R2, and my sister actually gave this to me, it was like a cup at Disneyland or something. But R2 here would move along the screen, and he'd be just a two-dimensional character. But in 3D, you have to keep in mind that there is all different angles and stuff to R2. R2 exists in the 3D space, and he can move everywhere. Sorry, I'm not doing a really good job of that. But so this particular program is not going to be the final thing we'll do with 3D animation, but it's going to be a good program to introduce you into 3D animation. So to start, here's what you're going to do. You're going to run the program. Yes, I want to allow it. Move this up a little bit. Sorry, I have my computer on lockdown. Should run it. Okay, so I sure want to run this. Yes. Yours shouldn't take this long. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties. But, okay, so this is Alice. And to start, it kind of gives you the option to open up several different 3D worlds. There's dirt, grass, sand, water, space, snow. So we kind of think about like when we get to doing some projects with this, what is the starting environment you're going to have? Is it going to be something that goes on in space, in the water, grass, all that kind of stuff. So, but before you even start with doing these templates, and I know some of you probably even clicked this before you even listened to what I said, what I want you to do is start where it says tutorial. And this is going to teach you how to run this particular program. I will say this is a free program. You can even download this at home just as I have. But from my understanding, tutorials 1, 2, and 3, perfect. They work beautifully. Tutorial 4, we had some problems with it last year. We were able to start it, and then a couple steps into it, it had some kind of bug that, and I don't know if that got fixed or whatnot, but if you run into a bug on here, that's fine. But what you want to do is start tutorial 1, which is going to teach you how to move and animate a character in a 3D space. So you're going to click on it, click open, and it's going to say Alice is going to adjust your screen, yada yada yada. Go ahead. It's going to make it so that it fits that. So now what it'll do, it'll say welcome to the Alice tutorial. This tutorial will introduce you. You're just going to kind of follow it, and you'll follow the steps. And the cool thing is you can follow these, and if you skip, and I'm doing this quickly because I've done this a million times, but you'll want to actually read through these things. And if you don't do the step correctly, it won't let you do it. So it'll just keep telling you, like, no, you have to do this thing. It kind of explains all this stuff. And it's going to essentially just tell you how to program this particular ice skater in this snow environment world. You'll get to a point to where you can tell her what to do. You can even kind of play around with how she moves and, the routine that she does. And I believe it'll even get into how to move the camera around. So, I'm sorry I'm yawning right now. It's been a long day sitting in that jury room. So, you'll get to a point to where you can control the camera, all that kind of stuff. You can control how the character moves, and what's going on. And so essentially the way this works, and for those of you who play like video games, can kind of understand camera angles and stuff, and basically the way it works is you have you create your 3D world, and then you have your camera, which the camera that I'm looking at right now is placed in front of me, and you guys are able to see me through the window of that camera into this 3D world that I'm sitting on the other side. Now, hopefully I don't make any of you sick, but you can kind of see my messy closet that I'm recording in here. But if I move the camera, here's some of my books, here's my microphone I'm using. If I move the camera around, and if I pan and, show different parts of, this area that I'm recording in, you get to see how, the window through which this 3D environment is in. And so when you're doing 3D animation, like I said, hopefully you guys didn't get sick doing that. So when you're doing 3D animation, yes, you're going to set up, so just like I have like my microphone set up here, and I have like my cup over here that I was drinking grape juice out of, and I have my books, and ignore that mess and stuff. But I have all these things set up in my 3D world. Then I need to determine where my camera is going to go. And even though I can control, so let's say, this is kind of a long explanation, but let's say I have my R2 here, and I plop him in the 3D world, and I tell R2 that he's going to spin around. He's going to do this. His job in this particular animation is to just spin around like this. Now, that's one thing. That's one part of it. The other part of it is I need to determine where I want my camera to go. So let's say I want my camera to go over here on this angle, and then I want to turn my R2 to look at you a little better, or turn my R2, sorry, I'm doing real bad at this, turn my R2 to look, off camera, and to move back and forth, the camera has a lot to do. And I'll put you guys back. The camera has a lot to do with how 3D movies are made. So when you're watching Toy Story and you're watching movies like Finding Nemo, all that kind of stuff, what they've done is they've created these 3D objects. They've put them in a 3D world, and then they have to set up like where the camera and stuff goes and all the facial expressions and everything on that. So, so in Alice, you're going to do something very similar. You're going to, when we get later on into it, you're going to create these 3D objects in this world, and then part of what goes on in is figuring out where your camera is going to go and what your camera is going to record, if that makes any sense. So I'm not sure if all these tutorials start on that, but that's something to keep in mind as you're doing this. So I'll exit this particular tutorial because I want to do a new one. So first thing you're going to do is go through all the tutorials. I know 1 through 3 you should do with no problem. Tutorial 4, I'm not sure you'll be able to get to the entire thing if it still has that error, which even the creators of this program know about it. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to do these tutorials, all 3 of them. Try to get all 3 of them done, pretty quickly. And then what I want you to do is I want you to open up, click on the Templates tab, and just start a new world. You don't have to animate it yet. You don't have to put any camera work in it yet. But just open up a world, put some stuff in there, and just start playing around with what kind of story would you tell in these 3D environments. So like this particular one, let's do space. Space is fun. I love Star Wars. You guys all know that. So I've created my 3D world. Made that a little bit bigger. Sorry, you guys probably lost me. I've created my 3D world, and it's a living thing that exists. So now I want to add an object to it. I want to add something to it. It's space, and everybody knows that in space there are Japanese samurais. Nice. So add my instance to the world. Boom, there we go. Now there's a Japanese samurai in space. Sounds like an awesome video. So now I can kind of determine where my camera and stuff's going to be. I can move it around. I can change, the camera goes up and down like that. And then what I start doing is once, my character's in there, I can go to properties and I can change, the different aspects of the world. I can change, the environment. Let me see if I can close. So create new method. Sorry, not that. It controls different I can control his legs, as all that, his body and stuff, of how he moves. So what I want you to do, again, don't get too much into the animation part just yet. Hopefully we'll cover that, next week. But just do the tutorials, and then just start populating each world with different objects. And again, start thinking through what kind of story would you tell? What kind of story could I tell? Or maybe I'll tell next week, once we get to animation and stuff in here. What kind of story would I tell with a Japanese samurai in space with, yes, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, See, it would be cool. Be a cool story. So think through that. Let me kind of show this to you. I should have did this before, but again, I didn't plan on this being my whole week. So let's do this. So number 1, go through all tutorials in Alice 3D. That's your number one. Number two is create at least 10 objects in each of the 6 worlds in Alice 3D. Save each of the 6 worlds in your classroom drive so I can give you a grade for the, you thought I was going to type something else, assignment. Makes sense? So let me go through this again. So go through each of those tutorial videos. Then create 6 new worlds. Each of them have at least 10 objects in each of the worlds. And again, start thinking through, okay, which of these would I want to continue on and actually tell a story with? And then lastly, save each of the 6 worlds in your classroom drive, the one that has your name on it, so that when I return, I can give you a grade for, doing all of them. And so the way you're going to do it, so you go back to this, so the way you're going to do it is once you've created your world and you start putting new stuff in, and again, don't just throw like random stupid stuff in there. I mean, kind of like I did, but something that would make sense in the long run. But you're going to go to File, Save World As, and for you would put it, in your classroom drive, the one that has your name. I'll use this one that has my name, and then I'll call this one, put my name on it. McClung space samurai. Save. I don't know what that said, but anyway, so then I open up my drive and it should be in there all that. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Unfortunately, I can't answer any questions for you. However, I can tell you that if any of my TAs are there, especially the ones that had animation or even the game design class last year, they can totally help you out with they can totally help you out with, and I'm back. They can totally help you out with getting Alice down and how it functions and works, stuff like that. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. I promise you, with all that is with me, I'd so rather be with you guys than sitting in a jury box for it's not like 7 hours, dude. Seriously, it's a long time. Just sit and listen to people argue about something. So anyway, look forward to seeing you guys again. I know you guys will do a great job. I know you'll work hard, and to give Mr. Cooley, if he's there, or whatever substitute instructor may come, treat them with all respect. Work your hardest. Make me proud when I get back, and maybe we'll have a surprise or something in store. We'll see. Maybe. Remember, I'm broke. Got 8 kids. So take care, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.